if you would like to, please stand and just go around the room. Get each person in their eyeballs and tell them, I've got your back. Don't hit them in the eyeballs.
I got your back. I got your back. I got your back. I got your front. I got your back. I got your back. I got your back. I got your back. I got your back.
Terry, I'm this
You're back.
I hope you don't have my back on my back.
Okay, I'm hearing the volume level come down, which is usually a social indication that you've finished this task. Here's my third page I couldn't find. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, before anybody sits down, we're going to break into small circles. So no one has to perform in front of each other. We're going to do like little group activities, okay? So based on general vibe that I'm getting in this moment, as the spirit leads, I'm going to say, maybe just like, let's just divide in half. 2 circles, please, if you're willing.
I just won't take my yawning as an insult to you. I haven't been home since I left and went to work this morning.
I will probably be yawning myself. My golden doodle puppy thought it was important to eat baseball cards yesterday and then throw up through the night. So Jesus and caffeine are getting me through this right now. Okay, vibe check. I'm going to say we're going to play a game called Word at a Time Story. So how this game works is that you guys are going to go around in a circle, you're nodding as though I'm guessing that you've predicted what's about to happen. You have, yes. That we will build a story, 1 word at a time. And the goal, although I'm very confident that you guys will do this better than the Cub Scout troop I just recently did this with, because, spoiler alert, it was mostly about poop.
I can go there. So can she.
So the main objective is to give our story a clear beginning, middle, and end. Okay? It doesn't have to go around only once. We can do a couple of laps, maybe 3 laps or so. But the general rule is just try to have a beginning, middle, and end. And remember, 1 word at a time. Okay? Whoever would like to start as the spirit leads, please start.
Pinky.
Had a
Fever.
went
Sit.
I went
left work.
I went left work.
Yeah.
I went left work.
Spell.
Is there a punctuation in there somewhere?
I was going to, but I found an A first, 2. But, okay, forget it. Left, 2.
Spell.
On.
Is go. White.
Sure.
2.
the
Wet.
fair.
Left.
Period. I.
That's Alan.
However.
That
Hang on.
Nevertheless.
Nevertheless.
you two can't be together.
No. Actually, it was
Poop.
You're grounded.
with directly into
My. Whoa.
Sharona.
Road using
By.
Path.
Cedar.
Whoa.
And it's one name.
Yesterday.
Yeah, that's it counts. It counts.
got your
Oh,
voice.
I'm so far away.
Peter Point.
I.
I.
Right.
Could feel
Or. Not.
Ketchup.
Turns.
All.
out.
Over.
Everyone was
Pants.
Nearly.
Okay, so let's take a
Famished.
quick pause. You guys are doing so good. You're all creative geniuses and you're amazing.
yeah.
So
Amen.
Comparable.
that's my father-in-law, everybody. Okay, so usually when I teach this game, I notice a couple of things. One is a reluctance to use words like the, and. Like, it's easy to feel like that's a stupid word. I want to say a fun word. So, like poop. Dang it, I wanted to say poop. So, it's good to make that sacrifice for your team so that there can be general understandability. Another thing I notice if you're like me is that if there's a bit of silence, it's torturous. And you're like, oh my god, paper. Say paper. Please say paper. Paper. You don't even say paper. Like, okay, I love that. And when we bring a little bit of mindfulness to that moment, if you notice that moment for yourself, it's like, oh, right. Safe to trust my scene partner. Just gonna think of if she says avocado, I will live through it. Like, I will live through that experience right now. So it's totally safe for things to shift away from what you thought. Totally safe not to try to control the scene or whatever. Totally safe to let it shift and go where it's gonna go, okay? We are gonna pick this up. We're gonna shift the game a little bit into a game called Proverbs. So how Proverbs works is similar format, one word at a time. But instead of making a whole story, we're making quick little bits of wisdom. You're not trying to think of ones from the Bible. You're making up brand new ones, okay? And maybe you're thinking in your head, but Andrea, how are we gonna know when it's done? Group mind. That's my answer. Also, someone will just signal, and this is how we do it, where I come from, but you're welcome to do this however you want. We put our hands in the middle like this and go, yes, yes, yes! And it's very fun. Let's try it. Yes, yes, yes! You guys did such a good job. I'm thrilled right now. So whoever, I guess only one person has started so far, so a different person in your circle, get it started, and then just move it in order, just like last time.
Don't.
Wait.
You.
B.
A.
Furious.
Boom! And then keep making them. Just crank out some wisdom for the world.
About.
Shove.
Who?
Shove.
I knew it was
Damn.
coming.
Always.
Wash.
Your.
Shoes.
Thoughts.
River.
What's a river?
Leave. River.
Me.
River.
Alone.
Went. The.
Time.
We.
Help. Eat. Oh, wait.
I.
Went. Clap.
Not our best one.
I was gonna say fart.
I was thinking of
Okay, take a quick pause. I love all of this. I've heard some really good ones from both groups. I'm gonna ask if we can trade boop, 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 and boop, boop, boop. If you guys switch, so you guys kind of mix up and get to play with more people.
Hello.
Is that the
Hello.
one
There's, yes. Boops go over here. Yeah, great. You guys are so great. Okay. So I promise there are more kinds of improv games than just word at a time games. I just really like them because they help us notice where is my inclination to add so quickly. Where do I need to notice when it's someone else's turn? How can I be chill with silence? Like silence is not an emergency. It's not an emergency. So yeah, silence is not an emergency. You guys, au contraire. Silence can be like the most gorgeous moment in an improv scene. Like when the stage goes hear like butts scoot forward in their chairs, where the whole audience is like brings everyone into the moment, and then the slightest little gesture will get the biggest laugh of the night because there's just like this timing. That silence did something really beautiful. So if you are noticing about yourself that you are giving your group the gift of silence in this game, please do not feel that you are holding anything back. You are not. Silence is not an emergency. We're going to play a similar game, but now instead of going in order, it'll be popcorn style, as the kids say, to where just as the spirits lead. So this game is called Bestsellers, and I love this game. I play it a little different. So how it works is, if you want to contribute a word, you put a hand in the middle. So let's say, I'm going to pretend that I'm all of you. It's like, if you kiss a frog, it dies. Okay, so whatever. So you add, everyone's putting their hands in. And then when it's clear we've reached an end, you put your hands up and say, bestseller. And then someone in the circle takes the initiative to give us a book review. What is that book about? That's the part that I added to this game because it's really fun and I love it. Okay, does anybody have any questions about the mechanics of this?
So,
moving your hand and whoever
Yeah.
has their hand on top says the word.
Correct, yeah, adds a word, you put your hand out, and then, but it can go in any order, and when the group is like, we're done, you say, bestseller, and then
so
someone
is
makes
this
their
a book title or
a
is
book
it
title,
a book title?
yeah.
But probably longer than one word.
I mean, listen, it's improv. Anything can be the right answer. As the spirit moves you, Chris.
Silence is not an emergency.
Don't know if you heard, but it's not.
All right.
Don't.
Oh, leave your hand up there. Don't.
And
Trust.
the
Street.
sometimes
Mechanic.
sniff your
But.
Silence. And so what was
That's why there's 2 holes in the potty.
Alrighty.
Was,
A bear. That's too damn predictable.
but,
From. He.
Looked.
from.
Made.
Marvelous.
Bestseller.
Bestseller.
Okay, that was the bear. Had no hair. Didn't care. He looked marvelous. No, I wasn't.
Brush.
Off.
What did you learn?
Wait, did you say rush?
Brush.
Rush. Rush off.
Bananas
Being.
grow
Cat.
best
From.
beyond
The.
Hades.
Bestseller.
So brush off the cat from Hades.
Hades.
I think it's another mystery, maybe.
Okay, guys, take a pause. So now what we're gonna do, we have a small enough group that we were gonna make one big circle now, and we're gonna move away from word at a time games, as lovely as they are, and we're gonna play something called the gift game. So how the gift game works, Fritz, can I practice with you?
You know.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you. So how the gift game works is that in the circle, one player says to another player, I got this for you, and indicates the size of the gift and how much it weighs. So there's a difference between like, this is for you, man. Like, whatever. So I initiate the size and the weight. He tells me what it is. Thank you for the whatever's in here. I explain why I gave that to him, okay? So, Fritz, what did I give you?
Gold.
Gold.
Wow.
I got it for you because I believe in the mission of this church, dang it. So that's how the gift game works. And then whoever just received the gift turns the player to their right and gives them a gift indicating the size, shape, weight, and so on until we get all the way around. And I like to do this as one so everybody can hear without it getting too loud. Is that cool?
Okay.
All right. So if anybody would like to say no thanks, you may do so. All right. Is it okay to this one?
Sure.
Okay.
See what it is? It is a leaf.
Yes, I got it for you so that you can place it in a book and use it as a bookmark and remember this fall day forever.
Joe, I don't really want
We have to say what it is.
I've just never seen something so hideous.
And specifically, it's a hideous.
It is a hideous bat that's hanging from my finger. It's like, ah.
I got that for you so you would no longer be afraid of them.
Immersion therapy. Yes. What a friend.
I just had surgery.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up for you. But that,
Oh, gosh.
Pam, I got that for you.
Well, she has to say what it is.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know, I wasn't expecting a Christmas tree quite yet. But it's very nice.
And why did you give it to her?
It's getting to be that time of the season.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Okay.
I love the object work. Oh, another one. Yes, yes. Commitment.
Thank you for got this for you, because I gotta see what it is first. Oh,
That's okay.
that's right.
It's all right. We're all learning. That's
The
okay.
silence.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to say it.
It's
Okay. It's Play-Doh. I love Play-Doh. I am so glad because, you know, I think you're so creative. And if you have a little bit of time in your life and if you just want to make something, you can do it. Well, I got that for you because it'll help take care of the mice in the basement.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you for that handful of sand.
I got that for you because it came from a very special beach.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Did you have Oh, thank you for this $100 bill. You're welcome. I didn't need it.
Whoa! She's not gonna know where that came from.
Please switch places.
Too late. I got that for you because I was worried that your head would get cold this winter.
I heard it was all you wanted for Christmas.
Thank you so much for this kitten.
That was a hand grenade.
And why did you give her the kitten?
I thought it was a hand grenade.
Well, but now that you know it's a kitten, why was the kitten just the thing you knew she needed?
I knew you did not have enough love in your house.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
A pancake.
That was good.
How did you know?
I just wanted to see you laugh.
He deserves it.
It's a seed.
I wanted to see where you would plant it.
An inside joke.
That happened. I think I get the joke. The gesture was very clear. There's some things we all do the same way.
Hey, that was my best.
All right, all right.
Okay, you got a little something, something for her?
Margaret, are you?
Oh, Margaret,
Alright,
you have
I
one?
sat down, sorry.
It's okay, it was better than I gave them.
Yeah.
I got it for you because I know you have so many wishes.
Yes.
Oh.
Perfect. Oh, okay. Thank you for this handful of baby chicks.
Close enough. It was the slime frog.
Why did you give me this handful of baby chicks?
Because they're fun to have.
They are fun to have. Thank you guys so much. Okay, so let's check in quickly. Because I noticed a bunch of times the thing that you thought you were giving is not what your scene partner received, right? So what was that like? From some of you that happened to? That you had a clear idea in your head and then that was not what your scene partner communicated?
I was giving you a feather.
And when it turned into a bat, I loved your reaction then was, so to help you get over your fear. These are the types of experiences that like, your brain can think of something. The sooner that you can accept, oh, that's not what I thought, that's what we're doing now, all right. Like, that was a really beautiful reaction. How about from someone else?
So I think our minds are great at creating these wonderful soap operas. Things that we think are going to happen, things that we think the person's going to see as a gift, but the reality is it rarely ever happens that way. So I have to keep learning that. Just because I think something's going to happen a certain way doesn't mean that it is. Sometimes just lay low and watch it develop.
And it's totally safe for that to happen. Like, I think I know, obviously in improv, when your idea shifts, it's not like you're grieving, you know? It's like you feel disappointed, you're like, oh, I had this whole glorious idea. If she had known that I wanted to give her a toad, it would have been so fun. I had a whole reason for why I gave her a toad, and now it's chicks, dang it. Like, but you recovered from that. You survived that experience. In life, it's usually, I went to Amy Grant's concert recently, which was so good, and it was so fun, and I was like hoarse the next morning preaching because I sang my little heart out with my mom. And in the show, she talked about how she was shocked when her daughter grew up that there was so much resentment, and they were going to therapy together, and she was so surprised by the things that her daughter had interpreted. And she wrote this song that was like, I thought I was showing you I loved you, but that's not what you heard. It's a beautiful song, and that's what it's like in real life. In real life, we can be so sure we were clear about the gift that we were offering, and it can be really, really tender and hard if that's not what was received. And I think the important thing is to realize that you are very capable, I promise. Each of you is very capable of navigating that and realizing it's totally safe for me to accept this from my scene partner. I'm actually really resilient. I'm so resilient. I was leading a group of pastors in a workshop recently about that experience of resilience, and we had like a prayer time to thank God for the incredible way that we've been made, that we're capable of being resilient. We're totally so capable of being resilient. What else did you guys notice? It doesn't have to be from this game. Were there any other moments, maybe even just reflecting on this list, in any of the games that you were like, oh yeah, I noticed that happen. I started to feel a little judgy or something.
Well, I know, like, you know, even when David and I do improv or even here, like, you do get something in your head, and it's like, oh, that's what I was gonna do. But, you know, I mean, that's happened many times where I thought the story was going this way, and then it went in a completely different way. And you're right, you do just have to just stay in the moment, focus on what's going on. I worked on here at Heartland, and one of the teachers, he used to teach fifth grade, but now he's teaching high school. But when my kids had him, or when I was with a student that was in his class, one of the things he always told the students was, be here now. And that's something that really stuck with me, and I think helps me, not only, you know, my life, but in improv and stuff, is, you know, like, stay present in the moment. Be here now. Whatever else is going on, it doesn't matter. Be in the moment, and then just work with that.
Totally safe to let it unfold how it's gonna unfold. Yeah. Thanks for that.
I think I'm a control freak, and I'm usually the idea generator. And there's a sense, and I'm not, I think a lot of pastors are, that I judge myself on the success of having my narrative bought into.
Ooh, that's a good observation.
So, you know, I want to convince, like, if we're going around the circle or whatever, mentally, ESP, whatever, they're supposed to all fall in line with what I want, because I am so brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have real trouble with the storyline.
Okay.
I'm a fiction editor,
Oh.
so I have a very clear idea of what a story is supposed to look like. And our story was terrible. It was not a story.
You would not publish that.
I would not. It was completely random. It had no middle. It had no ending. I started out okay. I was sick and I went prepared. And then it just went completely off the rails. And it just, you know, it was like fingernails on chalkboard.
Yeah, I can understand that. I feel that I'm not a fiction editor, but once I had been on the improv scene in Pittsburgh for a while and starting to get some more opportunities, I was asked to like sit and watch auditions for people that they would have the audacity to put on my team. So I was like invited to watch the auditions, but it was still up to the theater owners, like who they were gonna put on the team. And I remember like watching the auditions and then seeing the roster and being like, with the likes of moi. I mean, I'm being a little bit exaggerative in this moment. But I love this honor your scene partner. There's this quote in improv that says, treat the people on your team like a creative genius. And that's how you give them space to show you that they are. That might not be a verbatim quote, but it's the spirit of that. People can feel what those expectations are. And of course, in this moment, it's low stakes, and I'm not judging. I understand the feeling that you're describing. But I think it's so important to notice when that starts happening in real life and realize, oh, okay, right now, I am totally allowed to have my feelings. Whatever feeling that I'm having there's no erasure in improv. It's not about being like, no, it's okay that he said that clearly sexist thing to me. That's fine. It's not erasure. Two things can be true at once, though. Yes and, you know? And so it's just a matter of being like, all right, this person will feel from me what my expectations are. Like, I'm sure you guys can think of times that you've been in a room and you were being tolerated. You're present, like it was clear that there was like, I'm not actively hate criming you right now. But I won't be sad when this conversation's done. Like, we can feel that, you know? It's really hard to buck that current. It's really hard for someone to ever be anything other than what you expect. And even if they ever are, you're not gonna notice it, because you find what you look for. That's how life works. You find what you look for. Look for evidence that your scene partner doesn't completely 100% suck. Look for evidence that this person is a creative genius, and you're gonna find it. You're gonna find what you look for. Any other observations? Thank you for sharing.
So I read an improv book where the person said, be the actor that you could be paired up with anybody, and that scene will be the greatest. As opposed to being the one who's always upset that you got paired up with that person.
Yeah.
When you relay that into life, I can be very judgmental. I elevate myself quite a bit. Pride. And so constantly remind myself, be in a situation where other people look better than I do. Make that happen.
Yeah.
It's not always easy, but that's a good goal.
It's not always easy, especially when we're talking about things that we care about or things that we've done a lot of research about. And like I find when I'm working with teams specifically around brave conversations, that the bear trap that we fall into most easily is if someone says something that we know is factually incorrect, and it's like everything they say after that, it's like, ah! 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 And that's a human thing. It's also totally the case that we can have a callback later, right? Like, we can keep listening. We can listen beyond that reaction, you know? Because I think that part of that is good. Like, part of that instinct to be like, wait a minute, like, but this is important to me, you know? Like, I care about this. Or maybe you've invested a lot of time learning about something. Sometimes knowing that you are an expert on something isn't necessarily the same as thinking you're better than someone. It's trusting that God gave you the ability to learn and you've taken advantage of that opportunity. Like, sometimes there's this sense of like, well, I spent a lot of time learning about this actually, you know? And we can still honor our scene partners. You know, we can find ways to, with that gift orientation, offer our perspective as a gift. I mean, you guys, that changes every part of a brave conversation. When you, because if you believe my perspective is a gift that I'm offering, then you're not like, I'm sorry, I hate to be the one to say this, I'm so sorry. Ooh, don't shoot the messenger, I'm so sorry. Like, that's not how you treat a gift, right? But you also don't chuck it at someone's face. You're also not like, nah, you're wrong. You fake newsed me and now I've shamed you in front of the whole group. Like, that's also not what you do with a gift, right? If you decide gift orientation, I'm gonna offer this if it's a gift and like it's a gift. Yeah?
I was remembering what's become one of my favorite stories and one of my storytellings. So I was doing, I don't think anybody was with me. I think I was doing this as a solo act. Are you gonna sit there? Okay.
Sure seat.
But I was doing a storytelling workshop with our senior lunch, and I've taken them through our non-patented multi-step storytelling brainstorming process, and then invited people who wanted to get up and tell their stories. And this woman got up, older, nobody in this room is under 70. And Pam, you might have been there, you might remember this.
Over 72, everybody.
Right, but,
I know right now.
no, it just occurred to me that you might have been there.
I might have.
And this woman gets up, and the very first words out of her mouth, and were something to the effect of, I believe that abortion is absolutely wrong. Those were the first words out of her mouth. And all of my tolerance, all of Hub's open mic policy, everything, I was shut down. And all my judgment. And she then proceeded to tell a story. And it was the most powerful story I ever heard. And it was a story about her being raped and about her having met this friend who had convinced her that abortion was absolutely wrong. So she decided to have a child and yada yada yada. And now she's 70-something years old, and this is her only child, and he is taking care of her in her old age. And it was not a story about the politics of abortion, which is where my mind put it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a story of her son's caring and love for her and how that's keeping her alive.
Thank you for sharing that story and for being willing to say those words out loud. I feel like now, especially with issue 1 coming, these are words that are scary to say out loud. So thank you for being vulnerable about that. And yeah, one of the things that I've really become aware of since 2016 especially is that people might have a bumper sticker to make you mad, but they don't hold the belief to make you mad. Just like the slide before, their beliefs came from their experiences, you know? And so the more we can ask brave questions and listen with curiosity and hear people's stories, the more often than not, we will find some way, maybe we won't change each other, that's okay. Airplanes, I got real curious in the pandemic about why planes work, because that's what I was doing in 2020 in Pittsburgh shutdown. Like, I just would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and be like, I need to know this now, Google. Mm-hmm. And I went down this rabbit hole of understanding flight. And I'm so glad I did, because what I learned is that in order for an airplane to work, we need thrust, weight, drag, and lift. These opposing forces. Seems like they're working against each other. But if we don't have them, we do not get flight. There's a mechanism called the airfoil that sort of controls, because ultimately thrust needs to overcome drag and lift needs to overcome weight, but that doesn't mean we can't have any weight. We absolutely must have weight. We absolutely must have drag, or you're just gonna keep going until you get to the sun. Like, we have to, right? Like, but the airfoil, we can get all into that another time. But the point is just that I think of that so often in those moments when I feel tempted to be like, the thing that I'm hearing does not line up with my worldview, and I like you, so I want us to agree. And I just like panic, you know? And then I say, oh, curiosity second. That's all right. We need each other.
And I think in the storytelling context, that open minds, one of the most valuable pieces of it is the audience's willingness to listen through not always good stories and affirm the storytelling. You know, not every story in open mic storytelling is a good story. I told some fuckers, especially the last storytelling. You gave me this look. Last storytelling.
Hash
My
it
goodness.
Out. Fight.
Oh, look at me.
No.
Who are you looking at? Her, I
Her,
heard.
yeah.
I'm
Okay,
hoping.
good.
I'm like,
I don't remember it being a clunker.
she had gas.
Fritz, I'm aware of the time. Would it be okay, not to put you on the spot, but could you close us in prayer maybe, and then, or did you have a thought?
Yeah, I wonder if we can one-word shot our closing rituals,
Okay,
which
great, yeah.
is we ask each other where can we hold each other in prayer
Oh.
this week. That can lead to all sorts of stories. I'm going for a one-word shot, and then Joe, you want it? No. You're claiming flu shot. Okay, I will,
Should we just go around instead of
yeah,
inviting
just
folks?
go around. One word shot, where can you be held in prayer this week? I will start,
What way are we going?
I'm in the middle, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all of us are in the middle.
I think so. My daughter.
Gotcha.
Great,
Say it again.
great.
Healing, please. Neighbor.
Thriving. Balance.
Silence. Brother.
Fame.
Parents. Encouragement.
Gracious Lord, let your blessings flow upon us, in us, and around us. Let your presence be known before us, behind us, and above us. Let your grace fill our hearts, and let our grace fill the hearts of others. Amen.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you, Andrea.
I started clapping instinctively, and then I needed to justify that by decision.
So, Andrea's book's over there. If you want to buy her book, it's brilliant.
How much is the book?
It's $17.99, and the promo code that I made, I typed it on there because I just made, it's share143. And if you get one for someone who wasn't able to come tonight, then that means that you get two for $25. So it discounts the price considerably.
You lost me somewhere in there, but that's okay.
It's math stuff. Anyhow, there's a promo code. It's printed on there. How I do payment to track inventory is that you scan that QR code and then you can enter in your credit card details. There's also bookmarks, which are for free. And if anybody happens to have a job in your life where you would be the person in charge of what books does our leadership team read together, or what gift will we give at the end of the year, there's a form that I'd love for you to take and purchase anywhere between 50 and 5,000 copies.
And then there's a basket over there. In one of the emails that went out, we said that if Andrea is being paid, we are paying her a gas money and a little extra. But if you greatly appreciate her and want to add more than gas money, you can put money in that basket.
That's very kind. Thank you. You did that. But thank you. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you. So,
Can the improv people tell us about themselves a little bit?
they practice at the hall for
Then
us.
we know, but we don't know them.
We don't know them, we don't know. How do you get to be part of your group? Are you looking for more people?
How would we know if it was factual?
How would we know, really?
I don't know, we're part of a group called Double I Improv, which is short for Indigo Improv, because we're under the umbrella of a theater company called Indigo Family Theater. We've been together a couple years. We've only been performing. No, it's the other part. It's good performance, promise. I'm Athena, this is Dan, I don't know if you said that. We basically do family-friendly improv.
Are you a duo team, or do you have?
No, we
okay.
have 7 counting us.
Nice.
We are not.
We're closed right now for new members, but there is discussion about adding some.
So we try to provide family-friendly improv that, children can come. We've had a lot of children, actually. Sometimes the kids are the best at giving ideas at an improv show.
Do you guys do lessons? Do you offer lessons to people?
That's coming up, so we've done it for a high school.
Okay.
And we're doing that tomorrow.
Super school.
So,
That's so great. Where do you guys perform?
All over the area.
we just did
Salem, Columbiana,
I
Franklin,
didn't even know there were comedy theaters. That's so cool.
well, we just perform wherever we can. We just Just last Saturday, we did, a fundraiser show for Angels for Animals.
Oh,
So we went there and.
I see what you mean.
You know,
Yeah.
they headed all of it up.
Awesome.
They did here.
Yeah, we did one
you were
dinner
there.
We've
Dinner entertainment here.
performed at Salem Community Theater a few times, Cast Iron Soda, Libe Wine, Holiday Winery.
I'm not sure how I forgot that life is improv and anywhere can be a comedy theater.
Right.
And
don't
we
know how I
did a show
forgot that.
at Seneca Hills Bible Camp
Cool.
over Labor Day. That was super fun.
And we're looking for our own space. If
Nice.
anybody knows of the building.
We've even done improv at the park.
Perfect.
That's fun.
That was fun.
That's awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Peace be with you. We gotta like punctuate.
Way stations available, but you'd have to really improv on the.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you so much for having me. I took a couple of pictures. I can send them to you, Chris. Oh, really? We live in.
I live with one.
I thought it was something, but like.
Oh my gosh.
Normally,
We're
I'm
not
a high school
neighbors.
student.
So I thought you'd make
She
a final
had
school.
a
So he
Oh, I'm
totally,
sorry.
Right,
totally
it's the allotment.
First time.
I love
By
it.
myself, I've done
I
this
love
as
it.
a
I
director.
love when people
First
want
like
to do
shows
something I
down
would not.
there and
I
some of
get it.
our Indigo shows.
And I thought.
But I've never directed by
I'm on
myself.
Sherrywood.
And I don't really, like, I'm the director and the
Yeah,
producer and
that's
the
hilarious.
You're
We're
everywhere.
totally neighbors, I'm sure.
So, and the middle schoolers are great. They're great. They just
Thank you.
don't sit still.
I only had girls.
My mother was
And I
What's
learned
that?
all about
a peer teacher.
Yeah,
She did every level from
in the back.
college all the way to work.
They will be at a restroom and
The one
immediately
group
they get out of the car and they go
Do they? That doesn't surprise me. I know it's not the same.
Well, there it's 6, 7, and 8. So, and they're wonderful. Just,
Are you sure?
sometimes they don't sit still.
Don't need your eyes
They're
stand
not
up.
quiet.
So, that's good.
It's going good.
The bathroom, all you have to do is
Doing a
walk
show
over
before
back,
we-
it's right there.
Yeah, we
And
just
they
have
still
to our
go down
report.
and pee on the bush.
That's
Great.
Yep, that's what farmers.
Thanks, Fritz, for telling us about this.
Thank you, Dan. You guys for,
But you do like
you know what would be really funny?
and like
So
laughing.
that first street.
For you guys and us,
From the
or like to,
I don't know.
you know, most of our storytelling
On
events,
the left.
the audience, other than the ones who are thinking about telling a story, are pretty passive.
Okay.
It might be really
Does she have a daughter who's like,
combine
I don't know,
forces
brown hair
and
daughter
do
that's like,
some
yes. I see her
like
before
some
the
of
bus,
these
she rides the
build
bus with
story
my
things
kids.
or something that has storytelling in it, and get people
Okay.
interacting.
Yep.
Is that something that?
Yes, it does. To me, it does.
So, oh my gosh, my daughter's in 4th grade.
It's a matter
so
of
they go
figuring out how to do it and when
And
to
my
do it.
son
Right.
is in 2nd grade.
Worst case scenario?
They all ride the bus together, because now they're busing Katie together.
Best case, you got 7 others.
Okay.
Yeah.